Hour 2 of Late Night Health continues. I'm Mark Allen. During this hour, you're going to meet some very interesting people. At the latter part of the show, we're going to talk about Pilates, what it is and how it can make you feel good, and the difference between Pilates and yoga. That'll happen with Gia Marquez in the latter part of this hour. Also, this hour, we're going to begin with Dr. Mickey Barber. Her real first name is Michael. Can you imagine? But she's a she, not a he. She's a he Michael. A she Michael? Anyway, something like that. She is the Chief Executive Officer and Chief Medical Officer of Synergistics Carolinas. She's a board-certified anesthesiologist. She graduated from the College of Charleston, completed medical school at the Medical University of South Carolina, did a residency at Tulane, and finished her fellowship at Harvard and is from Ohio. But as you will see, she is actually now from South Carolina, because we'll hear a little bit of a twang every now and then. Dr. Barber, welcome to Late Night Health.
Thank you so much, Mark. Thank you for that interesting introduction. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. How long have you been in South Carolina?
I have been in South Carolina on and off for about 30-plus years.
Well, that's why you can take the girl out of South Carolina, but not the South Carolina out of the girl, right?
That's right. That's exactly right.
We're going to talk about something that's very interesting. We've talked about it before. We're going to talk about the truth about hormone replacement therapy. Mm-hmm. You listening right now are thinking, I've heard about that in the news. Has the information that's generally known about HRT, is it truthful and accurate in your opinion, Dr. Barber?
I don't believe what is being released in the media and what people hear and see is accurate. Don't think so. I believe that there is a whole other side to hormone replacement therapy that the general public is unaware of.
Is this for both men and women?
Absolutely, for men and women. Absolutely true.
All right, let's start with women. Mm-hmm. Women are first.
Well, as I'm sure most of the listeners are aware, and I'm sure you're aware, several years ago, it's been over a decade now, the Women's Health Initiative was released, which was a study that was released to the press actually prior to extensive peer review, and before practitioners actually had an opportunity to read the article itself. So the press release has been considered to have been a misleading press release, which emphasized the hazards of hormone replacement for women. And in fact, in the last couple of years, I believe 2012, Climacteric, which is a journal dedicated just towards the science of menopause, in fact, basically said that they did not believe and did not support the findings from the Women's Health Initiative. So it was a perfect example of really, in my opinion, scaring women and their doctors to death by the way that the statistics were presented.
Also, the bottom line was that they said HRT caused cancer. That's what
breast cancer and increased women's risk of heart disease. Those are the two main reasons that the study was halted.
And today, women are getting HRT, are they not?
Well, more and more women are starting to get hormone replacement therapy as the data is being reanalyzed and physicians are becoming more aware of the real truth about hormone replacement. Unfortunately, a lot of women decided that they were going to get off hormone replacement therapy. In fact, the American Journal of Public Health just last year published data that said that over a 10-year span, as many as 18,000 to 91,000 postmenopausal women died prematurely because they had avoided estrogen therapy after the Women's Health Initiative. So things are starting to change, Mark, but a lot of women, either because of a personal decision or the decision they made with their physician, had opted to avoid hormone replacement therapy.
I know that men are starting to take it as well, testosterone.
That is correct.
And it's at one time it was thought that testosterone could cause prostate cancer or increase the chance of prostate cancer. Is that accurate or not?
That is absolutely inaccurate. It's a very, very interesting case. I call it a medical myth that's been propagated, and there are a lot of them. It really started because in the 1940s they knew that if they severely restricted testosterone from a man who had advanced prostate cancer, that it could slow that prostate cancer down. From that point, it sort of grew into this big medical myth, which has since been disproven. In fact, interestingly, about 4 years ago, there were 2 very large studies that were accomplished that looked at men on testosterone therapy and men that were not on testosterone therapy, and found that the incidence of prostate cancer was no different in those 2 groups. And in fact, men who had the lowest testosterone levels and the lowest quartile, if they got prostate cancer, it was much more aggressive. So what we know now, to really be kind of in that middle upper range, is the healthiest place for men to be for a healthy prostate.
Right now we have Mickey Barber. She's the Chief Executive Officer and Chief Medical Officer of Synergistics Carolinas. And she's talking about age management medicine. Would you call this new age as well? I mean, have you integrated some alternative practice into allopathic traditional healthcare as well?
You know, not much. I guess some people would consider what we do to be alternative in that we focus on lifestyle quite a bit, on stress reduction, on getting a good night's sleep, on exercise and nutrition. I consider that very conventional medicine because it really is what the body's about and how the body can repair itself. So I look at what we do as really being progressive medicine because it is more progressive than what we would consider to be traditional allopathic medicine.
And at the same time, you also do a lot with nutrition. And
oh, gosh, yes.
Right? And most doctors don't know anything about nutrition. They have less than 24 hours of training.
That is right. You know, it's really sad. I mean, I went to medical school a while ago, and the medical school training for nutrition is exactly the same as it was when I went to medical school, which is really frightening to me, and it was certainly substandard at that point in time. And one thing I've learned since having this kind of a medical practice is the most important medicine we take is the food we put in our mouth. It works so quickly, and it either works for or against us, and it can really change how you feel in a matter of less than 24 hours. So hugely important. We do a lot of testing to see how you handle the food that you eat. We look at particular vitamin levels and really focus on helping all of us to eat more healthy for longevity and improved energy, improved body composition, and overall health and prevention of disease.
Organic, or doesn't it matter?
I think organic matters a lot. I think there are some
I'm going to interrupt you, Doctor. You're practicing some kind of alternative health. Go ahead.
Right. See, that's what I mean. I think some people would consider it that. I don't think that an organic banana is a good bang for your buck. I think that organic grapes, organic dairy products, meats that have not been given hormones or are grass-fed, I think that you have to make certain choices when it comes to your organic choices.
What about GMO? What's your stance on that?
Well, I'm kind of on the fence a little bit about it. I mean, I from my gut, Mark, I'll tell you, I don't think it's a good idea. On the other hand, I think that there are probably some certain foods that we're going to find are actually going to be better for us if they are genetically modified. But my gut tells me it's not a good idea. Sometimes my gut is is a better voice to listen to.
And of course, your gut can be affected by GMO. A lot of people have tummy problems when they eat genetically modified organisms. It's funny because I'm torn. I think we ought to have it all labeled. I'm going back to Washington, D.C. for Natural Products Day in a few weeks to talk to Congress members and Senate members about GMO and the labeling. I think that the idea is great. But if they're going to test a drug for 12 years or 3 years or 4 years and do supposedly exhaustive research, which I'm somewhat not convinced that is done, why don't they do that on this area? Okay, we're going to continue our conversation here on Late Night Health with Dr. Mickey Barber. She is the CEO of Synergestics Carolinas. She's an anesthesiologist, and she has all kinds of great training to help people get through the boomer years, as I would like to call them. When we come back, I'm going to ask a very important question, and that question is, can an Ohio girl learn to love grits when she moved to South Carolina? I'm Mark Allen. This is Late Night Health.
You're listening to Late Night Health with Mark Allen. The show continues in a moment.